Y'all ready? We're going to start chapter 3. Chapter 3 is called Fantine. But let's do a little recap because I want you to know who these people are. I want you to love this story as much as I do. Okay, so we have Jean Valjean, who was the one who was in prison for stealing a loaf of bread. He got 5 years for that and then 14 because he tried to escape. So do you think 19 years for serving a loaf of bread is a fair punishment? I don't. Okay. So his name is Jean Valjean. He is the one who became the mayor, changed his name, and rescued the man from the car. We have Javert, who is the police. Okay, he's the one that he is saying watches him like a hawk. I actually like Javert. He's one of my favorites in the musical. Okay, and now with chapter 3, we're being introduced to a new character, and this is a lady whose name is Fantine. Okay, here we go. Chapter 3, Fantine. One day, Javert arrested a young woman for disturbing the peace. He gave her 6 months in prison. She had been living on the streets in terrible poverty. Her name was Fantine. A rich young man had accused her of attacking him, but I had seen what happened from across the street. The man put a handful of snow down the woman's back, and she had lashed out in anger. I entered Javert's office. Fantine turned and glared at me. "So you're the mayor, are you?" she said. Then she spat in my face in a fury. That means she spit in his face. She hated Monsieur Madeleine. She believed she had lost her job because of me, but I didn't know her story. The woman in charge of the workers in my factory learned that Fantine had a child but wasn't married, so she fired her. "Inspector Javert, this woman is to go free," I said. Javert was stunned. "This woman has insulted a respectable citizen," he said. "I saw the whole thing from across the street," I replied. "The respectable citizen is at fault." "She has insulted you too. You are the mayor of this town," said Javert. "That is my affair," I said. "The woman will not serve a single day in prison." "But that's not right," said Javert. "Enough," I ordered. "Kindly leave your post." For a moment, Javert did not know what to do. Then he bowed and left the room. Fantine had followed the argument with interest and surprise. She wasn't angry anymore. "I will see to it that you have what money you need," I told her. "Your worries are over." This news was too much for the poor woman. She fainted at my feet. Her head burned with fever. I took Fantine to the factory's nursing station. Her fever raged all night. By morning, it had broken. "I'm feeling better," Fantine said when I asked how she was. "I've slept well. I'm sure it was nothing serious. I only wish my daughter Cosette were here with me." Cosette lived with a family called Thénardier. They owned a tavern in Montfermeil, a town outside Paris. Fantine sent money each month for her daughter's care. "I left Paris poor," Fantine told me. "I wasn't married to Cosette's father, so I had no help from him. I wanted to return to my hometown, Montreal. There was a factory, but what could I do with Cosette? The Thénardiers offered to take her until I was settled. They wanted 7 francs a month for her upkeep. At first, I was able to pay it. I had work in the factory. I even had money to buy new furniture. But then Monsieur Thénardier demanded more. He wanted 12 francs, then 15. He always had good reason. Cosette needed a woolen dress for winter. Cosette was sick. Doctor's bill and medicine put me behind in my payments. Things got worse when I lost my job," she continued. "I had to get money any way I could. I sold my beautiful hair. I even sold my front teeth, as you can see. I owe Monsieur Thénardier so much money. I'm afraid Cosette may, at this moment, be living in the streets." As Fantine finished her story, pain filled her eyes. Her face was thin and as white as the sheets she lay on. "I will take care of everything," I told her. "You don't have to worry." Fantine owed Thénardier 120 francs. I sent 300, so he sent more than what was owed. I sent 300 and told him to use the rest to bring Cosette to me. But Thénardier wrote back asking for more money. This man was not the kind soul Fantine believed him to be. He was a crook. He thought he had found the goose that laid the golden egg. I had to get Cosette away from him as soon as possible. Fantine's winter cough turned into pneumonia. One morning, the nurse took me aside. "You'd better bring the child," she whispered. "Her mother grows weaker every day." Fantine opened her eyes and asked for Cosette. "I will get her myself if I have to," I promised. I wrote the Thénardiers. Fantine told me what to write, and then she signed it. The letter read, "Monsieur Thénardier, please hand Cosette over to the person who brings you this letter. Everything I owe will be paid. I send you my regards, Fantine." But my trip was not to be. The next day, my dead and buried past would rise up to haunt me, and my plan to get Cosette would be delayed.